Welcome to another edition of HorseCenter, everyone. I am Brian Zipsy, and as always, I'm joined by my partner to the east, New Jersey, New York. He's there, Matt Schiffman. How are you today, Matt?
I'm ready. I'm ready for another fun shooting of HorseCenter.
Another fun shoot. Let's have some fun then, Matt. You know what we're going to do? 1 week removed from the Breeders' Cup, we are going to talk about the Eclipse Awards. I know it's early, folks, but we want to know what these Breeders' Cup results did to the Eclipse Awards. Are they done? They're not done completely, but a lot of them are pretty well set in stone. Let's see. Hopefully, Matt, here's what I'm hoping. We have a few differences of opinion along the way.
We always do that, Brian. That's our specialty.
We love to disagree, folks. Let's get right into our Eclipse Award picks as of November 10, 2015. Matt, 2-year-old male, who do you like?
I don't think we have any choice, Brian. It has to be Nyquist. Unbeaten, wins the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. It's a lock.
Exaggerator goes down to Louisiana, wins the Delta jackpot. He's still got no chance?
No chance. No chance.
All right.
This one's locked up.
I agree. It's locked up. Nyquist, 5 for 5. The son of Uncle Mo has won 4 stakes, 3 grade ones. He's beaten Swipe 4 straight races. He won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. It's all Nyquist. Now, maybe the 2-year-old fillies will offer a little bit more of an exciting finish to the Eclipse. So you're shaking your head already, Matt. 2-year-old filly champion?
If this one isn't a unanimous vote when the Eclipse ballots comes in, that will be amazing. She's the best. She's the best 2-year-old. Period. Give her both awards.
But, Matt, we love Rachel's Valentina. She won first out at Saratoga. She won the Grade 1 Spinaway. She was second in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile fillies. No good?
Well, we can give her our sentimental choice. And I think I'll probably give her an Andy Scoggin Award later on. But Songbird wins the Eclipse Award.
Give her the Skaggy, but Nyquist and Songbird, it's all over. 2-year-old filly champions, done and done. Okay, Matt, 3-year-old male.
Yeah, talk about done and done. This one was done on June the 6th, I think.
It might have been done before that, Matt. American Pharoah, he won 7. He finished second once in 8 starts. He was the 2-year-old champion. We know he's going to be the 3-year-old champion. Greatest 3-year-old year in a long, long time, Matt. American Pharoah, 3-year-old champion. Who's second?
Oh, geez, that's a good question, Brian. I didn't even think about that.
Well, Frosted won $2 million races. Keen Ice beat him in the Travers.
Sure. Yeah, but you could also go all the way back to the beginning of the year and maybe Dortmund's second.
Dortmund's going to be second, Matt, after he wins the Clark.
Yeah, that would do it.
That would do it. All right, but American Pharoah, far and away, folks, there's no questions. 3-year-old champion, yeah, it's easy, American Pharoah. Now, the 3-year-old filly champion. This is the first of our 4 categories, Matt, where I think there's a little bit of question. Who do you like?
Well, you know, Brian, and when you get to your choice, I'm not going to really disagree with your choice, but certainly I think the thing we both agree on is that the 3-year-old fillies who ran on the dirt none of them were our pick for the Eclipse Award. They were so wide open. They all took turns winning races. None of them distinguished themselves over the others. So I think we both ended up with a turf filly to win the 3-year-old female award. I stuck with my old favorite, Lady Eli. She was so strong and so impressive in the beginning of the year. I stuck with Lady Eli. Brian, who'd you pick? And then I'll jump back in again, I think.
Matt, I didn't pick either Larry Jones filly, Lovely Maria or I'm a Chatterbox. Lovely Maria won 2 big grade 1s at Kentucky. I'm a Chatterbox was very good all year. Carolina won some grade 1s, ran 3rd in the Breeders' Cup. Stellar Wind was clearly the best in California, ran second in the Breeders' Cup. But you're right, all of those dirt fillies, they just took turns beating each other too much. Stellar Wind couldn't win either of her shots at the biggest. So I had to look at the turf, and the first one I looked at was Found. Now, Found has only run one race in America, but how good was the one race, Matt? She beat Golden Horn. She beat the horse of the year in Europe. I know the decision's going to come out soon. Golden Horn, I expect to be the horse of the year in Europe. Found beat him on the square at Keeneland. What a race. Having said that, one race for me does not usually an Eclipse Award make. So I'm going to go back to Lady Eli. I mean, I'm rooting for her too. Her recovery from laminitis has been a wonderful story. And in her 3 graded stakes wins, Keeneland, New York, she just looked fantastic. Super, super filly, still undefeated. 3 for 3 is enough for me. I'm going to join you on the Lady Eli for 3-year-old filly champion bandwagon.
Yeah, and Brian, I agree with what you said about Found, and there's plenty of precedent in the Eclipse Awards for horses with only one race in North America winning an Eclipse Award, and I'm not going to put it past voters to vote for Found, beating the boys in an amazing field, but that just doesn't sit well with me, Brian. I'd like to see an Eclipse Award winner. It's a North American award with more than one race. But if Found ends up getting that award, I don't really have a big problem with it.
Well, I want everything to sit well with you, Matt, on this show. So let's root for Lady Eli, and let's root for a Lady Eli Found matchup as 4-year-old fillies next year. Matt, let's go from the 3-year-olds to the sprinters. Sprinting male, is it a done deal after what we saw in the Breeders' Cup?
I think we both agree it's Run Happy. After Run Happy came from behind and took down Private Zone, I think that one's got that award.
Okay, I'm going to agree with you, Matt. Run Happy will be the sprint champion. He's slated to start in the Malibu, which is is it 2015 still or not? It's at the very end of the year out in Santa Anita. I agree, he won. He beat Private Zone. But kudos to Private Zone. What a good year he's had. I don't think his year is over either. Really, really nice sprint year for Private Zone. Unfortunately, that last 100 yards, or fortunately for people rooting for Run Happy got him late in the sprint. 2 really good sprinters. I think we should also mention Rockfall. Rockfall had a terrific streak before his very unfortunate injury and having to be euthanized. Rockfall finishes 3rd, Private Zone 2nd, but it's Run Happy.
Yep, I agree. And that was a really good division, really contentious and strong division of horses.
Agreed. Let's go to the fillies and mares, the fast mares, Matt. Who do you like for the Sprinter Female Award this year?
I by default, I have to go with the winner of the Breeders' Cup female sprint race. I have to go with Wavell Avenue. I know it was her first big victory, but she won the big race at the end of the year. So, and again, I usually like to see more than that, but in this case, Wavell Avenue. Who do you like, Brian?
Aha! Our first difference of opinion, Matt. I don't think there's any way Wavell Avenue deserves this award. Was she best at Keeneland on Halloween? Yes, she deserved to win. That 7 furlong race really helped her out, that last half of furlong especially. Matt, that's her only stakes win of the year. She was running in allowance races. She won a couple allowance races. She lost an allowance race. She was beaten in stakes races along the way. Now, the horse that should get the award is La Verdad. La Verdad won 6 consecutive, I'll say it again, Matt, 6 consecutive stakes races before running second to Wavell Avenue in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. La Verdad has a record this year of 7 races, 6 wins, 1 second, all stakes races, a bunch of graded stakes races. Now, you may say, well, Wavell Avenue beat her in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint, but the truth is they split races. In the Gallant Bloom, La Verdad beat Wavell Avenue, so their record is 1-1. They both finished second in a losing effort. Wavell Avenues was a bigger race. However, 6 stakes wins versus 1. Matt, on this one, you're all wet. It's La Verdad.
Well, Brian, I'm going to disagree with you on one major count, and that is I have trouble with a horse winning the Eclipse Award without winning a Grade 1 race.
Okay, there aren't enough filly and mare Grade 1 sprint races out there, especially for the older mares. La Verdad won a bunch of graded races, Grade 2s, Grade 3s, 6 stakes wins, even up with Wavell Avenue 1-1. We'll have to agree to disagree on this one. In fact, folks, you let us know what you think on this filly sprinter. Hopefully, Matt will agree on everything else. Matt and I will agree on everything else along the way. Let's jump right into the Male Turf Horse Award, Matt. I think this one's going to be an easier one for us. Who do you like?
I like Big Blue Kitten, Brian. I think we have to go back to one of these horses because when Found won the big race for the males in the Breeders' Cup on the turf, it kind of put the division into turmoil. We had no decisive performance from that race. I say Big Blue Kitten. Big Blue Kitten has 2 Grade 1 races this year, finished 3rd in the turf. Not a bad performance behind Found and Golden Horn. What do you think, Brian? We agree?
No way, Jose. No, it can't be Big Blue Kitten. Actually, it could be Big Blue Kitten. This one's going to be close, Matt. I think I got you on La Verdad. This one I'm not so sure about, but I have to go with the Pizza Man, and I'll tell you why. The Pizza Man had a better overall record than Big Blue Kitten this year. Very close, but Pizza Man in 5 races, 3 stakes wins, missed another one by an eyelash. One more jump, he won the Grade 1 Shadwell Turf Mile. I know he didn't win, but still, it was a huge performance, a winning performance, lost by a jump. Those are his first 4 races. Granted, the Breeders' Cup Turf, he came up a little short late. 3 of 5. 3.5 out of 5 with that Shadwell Mile. That's a very good record. Now, on the other hand, Big Blue Kitten lost more races. He was 3 of 6. Pretty similar. Big Blue Kitten ran second a couple times, although he wasn't as close in any way as Pizza Man was to winning the Shadwell Turf Mile. He ran 3rd in the Breeders' Cup Turf compared to the Pizza Man's 5th. That was the only time he beat the Pizza Man. Now, they split their 2 meetings, Matt. They split their 2 meetings, and this is the decider for me. While Big Blue Kitten was running 3rd and kind of an inconsequential 3rd, as Found and Golden Horn were the 2 that were coming down to the wire the last 16th of a mile in the Breeders' Cup Turf, the Pizza Man's victory over Big Blue Kitten was for the win. The Pizza Man won one of the biggest turf races in the country, the Arlington Million. I would argue that that's the 2nd best turf race in the country after the Breeders' Cup Turf. And so their 1-1 becomes, well, one horse won one of the 2 races while the other horse didn't win either. The Pizza Man 3 stakes wins, Big Blue Kitten 3 stakes wins. Pizza Man has less losses. He almost has only 1 loss this year. And in their 2 head-to-heads, the Pizza Man at least has a win. No super candidates in America this year. I'm going the Pizza Man by a nose over Big Blue Kitten.
I think that's kind of about what the margin was in the Arlington Million, wasn't it, Brian?
No. Big Blue Kitten was rallying, but he was never going to get by the Pizza Man. It certainly wasn't a nose, as you know, Matt.
Okay.
All right.
I think
that's a good award, though. That one should come down to the wire. The
yes.
Pizza Man, they're talking about Japan. We'll see if either one races again this year. Filly and Mare Turf, Matt, we've already mentioned a couple good candidates, both 3-year-olds in Found and in Lady Eli. Are they going to win the Filly and Mare Turf Award this year?
No, I think Tepin is going to win the Turf Female Award with her 2 dazzling performances. Her win in the mile was phenomenal in the Breeders' Cup against a stacked field of Euros, and her win at Keeneland in the First Lady was also dazzling. That award's going to go to Tepin. I think it's a slam dunk in Kentucky. It's as good of a slam dunk as Calipari has his players doing for the Kentucky Wildcats. Slam dunk Tepin as the turf female winner.
I agree on most of what you said, although I'm a U of L fan, so I can't get into the whole Calipari discussion today. Matt Tepin, awesome year. Awesome year. She ran 7 times. She won 5. The other 2 she just missed. Back at a mile at Keeneland, the first lady, the grade 1 first lady, was simply awesome. And then she repeated it and beat a much tougher group in the Breeders' Cup Mile. As good as Lady Eli and Found were in not losing this year in America's grass races, you have to go with Tepin. Whole year, awesome year. Breeders' Cup Mile, huge performance. Tepin's the winner of this one. I think we have another interesting award coming up, though, Matt. I'm going to bring up the older males. The older males, there's some difference of opinion here. And some of the, in fact, I think most of the top candidates will not race again this year or ever. Who do you like?
I like Liam's Map. I think that Liam's Map has the recency. I think Liam's Map's win in the Woodward was super impressive, and we certainly know that his performance in the Dirt Mile was a new wrinkle from Liam's Map, facing trouble, coming from behind, and a tremendous performance in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. Won the biggest race of the year on the biggest stage, and I think Liam's Map gets the Eclipse Award. And people were critical of Liam's Map not running in the Breeders' Cup Classic, but maybe they made the right choice, because maybe this horse ends up getting an Eclipse Award now because of his performance in the Dirt Mile. You agree with me, right, Brian?
Well, Matt, I'm going to bring up some other stuff real quick here. Shared Belief beat California Chrome easily in the San Antonio, and then he made a mockery of one of the most important races on the West Coast, the Santa Anita Handicap. And then in his 3rd race of the year, he got hurt in the Charlestown Classic. Shared Belief, as the best older horse in America, I don't know how many people would disagree with that. Now, does that win an award, having not raced the second half of the year, only winning twice? No, it doesn't. Shared Belief, maybe the best older horse that raced here this year, but it's not going to win the award. Now, Honor Code has a bunch of important wins. He won a very nice mile race at Gulfstream, beating Private Zone, beating Wicked Strong, among others. Then he wins the Met Mile over a strong cast, Private Zone, Tonalist. And then he beats Liam's Map, your choice for the championship. He beats Liam's Map in the Whitney, the Grade 1 Whitney. 3 big wins. However, Honor Code did not finish the year as well. Kelso, disappointing 3rd place finish. Breeders' Cup Classic, he did rally for 3rd. I guess that's not bad, but it was a distant 3rd. I'm with you. Liam's Map, even though he only ran 4 times, even though he lost by the last jump in his only matchup with Honor Code, I think Liam's Map won the award on the square. And what I mean by that is his last 2 races, as you said, the recency factor. The Woodward was awesome. The Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile was even better. Liam's Map surpassed Honor Code and Shared Belief. I think he deserves the award as older male champion. How about the older mare, the older female of the year, Matt? Do we disagree on this one? I'm going to throw out the name Beholder.
Another slam dunk, Brian. We were all disappointed that we didn't get to see Beholder in the Classic, but she had another terrific year. She beat the boys in the Pacific Classic, whether it was a strong field or not. When you beat the boys in a race like that and you don't lose any other time, you get an award for that.
Yeah, Beholder's a champion, Matt. It'll be her 3rd championship, no doubt. 5 for 5 Pacific Classic was a tour de force. Beholder's your older mare, older female champion. That's easy for me to say. So Beholder is the champion. We should mention Stop Charging Maria has run a bunch of good races and did win the Breeders' Cup Distaff, but she just, unfortunate, she pales in comparison to Beholder.
Yeah, without question. That's going to be probably a close to unanimous vote also.
Yeah. Stop Charging Maria gets kudos for coming in 2nd, but it's Beholder. And finally, Matt, the horse of the year. Can we have a drum roll, please? I don't hear it. Anyway, the horse of the year, the HorseCenter choice for Horse of the Year. Matt, who do you like?
I think we've been saying it since June 6th, and I'm so glad that American Pharoah went out the way that he went out, just putting an extra stamp on his greatness, and such a worthy Horse of the Year, one of the most impressive Horse of the Years that we've had in a long time. Thank you, American Pharoah.
Thank you, American Pharoah. Thank you to his connections for running him 3 more times after he wins the Triple Crown. First horse in 37 years to do it. Yeah, he's the Horse of the Year, folks. There's no question. Very good point, Matt. I'm really happy that he went out the way he did. It's a good thing that his career didn't end on that Travers loss. For him to do what he did in the Classic was a fitting end to a great year. He's my Horse of the Year. He's my Horse of the Decade. He's my Horse of the 21st century, American Pharoah. Matt, this was fun. It looks like we only had 2 differences of opinions so far on these Eclipse Award choices.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's always great talking about the terrific horses that we've gotten to cover this year, and that fans on Horse Racing Nation always with their opinions. So we'll look forward to hearing from them also.
Yeah, I want to know, especially on the 2 that we disagree on, who's right? Was it Matt or was it I? Maybe we split. Maybe we split it, Matt. Anyway, folks, that was our early Eclipse Award picks. Things could change a little bit, but Matt and I don't see a lot of open doors for much changing from here on in. Thank you, as always, for watching. We're brought to you by Derby Wars. Thank you, Matt, for joining me once again.
My pleasure, Brian, and I'll see you again next week.
And we can't forget to mention our wonderful producer who's feeling a little bit under the weather, Ember Moore. Feel better. And folks, we will see you again for another edition of HorseCenter next week.